So, guys, what is going on? It is the week of 4th of July, and I am super excited because 4th of July is one of my favorite holidays. I love 4th of July. It's definitely one of my favorite holidays. Christmas, 4th of July, Easter. I guess it's, you're either getting gifts or something is going boom. And 4th of July is one of them. And 4th of July is this Friday. So I'm in New York City and I'm looking. I see New York City is giving away 100,000 free tickets to Macy's 4th of July fireworks. I don't think you need it. You see these 4th of July fireworks from anywhere. I don't want to say anywhere, but you don't need to, I guess, get a ticket to see them. I don't know if this is something special. Maybe you're going someplace like a skybox where there's food and, things like that. But you can get tickets to see, to see these fireworks, but you really don't need them. I don't think you need to buy them. These are free. You could kind of see them from anywhere in the city. I can be in Queens, I see them. I can be in the Bronx, I see them. I mean, it doesn't really matter what borough. But I like 4th of July. I'm someone that always used to get fireworks, whether it was some local guy that was driving around the city or somebody that I knew. I would always get fireworks when I was a kid. We used to light fireworks from when we woke up, 4th of July at 10, 11 in the morning to 2 or 3 in the morning that night. I never really even cared about the barbecue when I was younger. I just wanted fireworks. I would have bricks of firecrackers and grosses of penny rockets. And that would be all my daytime stuff. We'd be blowing up firecrackers and penny rockets. I would buy a gross or a half a gross of M80s, sometimes Blockbusters. But at that point with M80s and Blockbusters, to me, the M80s, I'm talking about the 80s and I guess the 90s, was just as good as the Blockbusters at one point. It didn't matter. They were cheaper. I don't even remember what they used to go for. But they used to either go by a half a gross or a gross. I used to buy either a gross or a half a gross, all depending. And what we used to do, which now as an adult I see is so dangerous, I would never do it now, is we used to get a Blockbuster and M80 and we'd be standing in the middle of a crowded Bronx street. I don't know if you could picture, just picture a New York City neighborhood, a street that you would see on TV, I guess. And we would light these things, we hold them, we wait till the fuse went almost basically down to nothing, and then we would throw it in the air. Throw it as hard and as high, and the goal was to throw this thing in the air so it would blow up in the air. Sometimes that would happen. Sometimes it would, land on a car, land on somebody's roof of a house, or would just land on the street next to a bunch of people and blow up. It was fun, that is for sure. 4th of July was always a lot of fun. The other thing I used to like to do, I was a pro at it. I used to get a gross of penny rockets, man. I would just I would have penny rockets where I would light them, and I just had a system where I was able to throw them, I guess, in the air and like dead aim. It didn't matter. It was like a ninja with those things, man. I light it, I hold it, I would, toss it at the right amount of, pressure, angle, and the thing would and it would go right where I wanted it. And we used to throw them. And we used to shoot them out of wiffle ball bats. And then at night, we used to get the cakes. We always had, I don't know the name of these cakes, but we used to have and I'm remembering some of the ones that I thought were popular when I was a kid. There was something called a 96-shot Pearl. There was a 100-shot Magical Barrage, it wasn't really a cake. It looked like a tall, skinny tube. Then we would have these bigger cakes, which we used to just call birthday cakes. And I think they might have been bigger than the, I don't know how many shots they had. I don't know if they had 100 shots or, whatever it was. But they were a bigger round of cake. They were the size of like a birthday cake. And we used to call them birthday cakes. The other firework that I used to like, and this was more of, I guess it was a daytime and nighttime thing, is we used to have jumping jacks. I used to buy a brick of jumping jacks, and I used to buy a bunch of parachutes, which was basically, it used to shoot up like a jumping jack in the air. A parachute would pop out of whatever this was in the air, and then it would fly down to the ground. Basically, as like a jumping jack. I guess it's tied to a string. We used to have these. There were bigger jumping jacks. You had jumping jacks, and you had a jumping jack that was bigger. What the hell was it called? A magical bloom? Might have been called a magical bloom. And I used to buy. They came in packs, man. I don't know if it was packs of 5 or 10. And then we were able to buy almost like a brick of them, where it was either 20 or 30. I don't remember, but they were big. They were big and round. They almost looked like M80s, but they would spin around like a jumping jack and turn red and green. Now, for the older people, which I guess I'm now, the barbecue was the big thing. Whatever it was, hot dogs, hamburgers, chicken, and whatever else, ribs, stuff like that. Really, the barbecues that we had, at least in the city where I was, it was mainly hot dogs and hamburgers, and then like chicken, barbecue type chicken, and potato salad, macaroni salad, and you were drinking Pepsi with that. It was like soda, and ice cream. Everybody had ice cream, and Mr. Softy truck would come around on 4th of July. I always, even as a kid, I used to say this guy is crazy. You would have people blowing. I have a video. If you go through my videos from years ago, I don't know how many years ago, but you would have the block blowing up. People doing all sorts of crazy stuff with fireworks, and Mr. Softy would be driving right through it, and he'd be driving through it, like with his window down. And I always said that somebody has to be throwing fireworks in there, or something could fly in there, whatever it was. But Mr. Softy would be around on the 4th of July, and all the craziness and chaos of 4th of July was a Mr. Softy truck that would come by. So, you might have had ice cream and ices and stuff just at whatever, event you were at. And then Mr. Softy would come by, and you get maybe ice cream again. And it was always a lot of fun. And I remember I used to go into the house, and I'm talking about when I was younger, 2, 3 in the morning, sometimes about 4 o'clock, anywhere between 2 and 4 o'clock, usually around 3 o'clock in the morning. I would be covered with, firework debris. You smelt like you were on, like a fire, because that's what you were in with all the smoke. I remember even that late, I would still jump in the shower. I would run up into my house, and I would take a shower, because I would have to wash just everything off of me, and I would take probably like a half-hour shower and wash everything off, and it would be late. It'd be late at night, and then I would go. And 4th of July, at least in New York, they used to have, whether it was like Channel 11, which is like WPIX, I don't know what it's called now. I think it's called the CW, or Channel 9, or Channel 5. One of those channels, which wasn't the main channel. Channel 9 was WOR, and Channel 5 was WNYW, I think. That's Fox now. Channel 11 would either have The Honeymoon Is On, or Star Trek, or The Twilight Zone. So you would come in 2, 3 in the morning on 4th of July, and after everything was said and done with, it's like 3:30 in the morning. I'm sitting on the couch, and I turn on Channel 11. I'm either watching The Honeymooners, I'm watching Star Trek, I'm watching The Twilight Zone, because they would do like a marathon on 4th of July. There would be some sort of marathon. I don't know if they do that now. I do not know if they do that now. Now my 4th of Julys are a little bit different. I'm not so heavily focused on fireworks. I mean, I like fireworks, but I guess I'm more focused on the last couple of years. I've actually been heading to like the Jersey Shore. That's where, I'll go, and I'll spend my day on one of those boardwalks. I like to go hang out near the beach. I like to go, I'm in the arcades, I'm playing games. They'll do fireworks on the boardwalk. And then the fireworks on the boardwalk in Jersey, usually around like 9:30. I'll hang out for another hour or so, maybe on the boardwalk playing games, whatever. and then I'll head home. Uh, and now this year I am down. I came down south, so I want to stay. I'm going to see how they do it down here. So I'm down in like the Florida, Carolinas area. And when you come down at least into the Carolinas, they have these stores that are the size of a supermarket, tremendous. And they're filled with fireworks from top to bottom. And it is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. The stuff that you could get. I think if I was a kid, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. So I think if I was a kid right now, my two favorite stores would be a Toys R Us, which is not here, or fireworks and Toys R Us. Those would be my two favorite stores. The fireworks stores here are absolutely amazing. They're all over. I mean, I guess when you leave New York and New Jersey, everything is good. The minute you get out of Jersey and you get into Pennsylvania, you see fireworks. And it starts from Pennsylvania and Virginia and the Carolinas and then Florida. I mean, you can have a ball, you can have fun. But New York and New Jersey, unfortunately, are so strict with everything. And it doesn't matter anyway, because everybody's usually doing something and blowing stuff off in these places anyway. But I'm very curious to see how they do it down here, down in the South. I guess I might just stay in South Carolina. I like South Carolina. I like North. I like all the states, but I mean, I've been leaving New York just because of how New York has been going, and I've been looking in different states. I'm still going to be going back and forth to New York, but I must say that Florida is not bad, and North and South Carolina, they're very good. It's a whole different vibe down here from back north. But it seems like 4th of July is a big deal here. They're kind of gearing up. I was talking to someone down here, and I said to him, what goes on here, 4th of July? He's like, this place is a war zone. They blow everything up. Everybody's like, well. So let's see. I don't really have any fireworks. I'm not going to be lighting anything off, but I will definitely be standing around trying to see what is going on. I guess I could compare it to New York. Listen, in New York, Bronx, Queens, people had, 6-inch mortars that they were lighting off. They might have been bigger than that, but I remember as a kid, they used to pull out these tubes. I guess they were like PVC pipes. Some people had real metal type pipes, and they would load these 6-inch mortars into this pipe, and they'd be blowing off, it looked like Macy's, and it was in the middle of the street. Totally nothing you want to be next to. I mean, these things were like, they would shake the ground, they would shake the block, but people would be lighting these things off. But again, now my 4th of July is more, I'm looking forward to what I'm going to do during the day. I don't know, am I going to go get some food? I'm trying to prep. What am I going to get? Do I want, what hot dogs do I want? Do I want to get some ribs? Am I going to do chicken? Maybe a steak? I'm not sure, but I'm planning my day around like food and things like that. And who else is around, I guess, that I'll call over, and then we'll go from there. But 4th of July, hands down, one of my favorite holidays. I think that if I got my hands on some sort of fireworks, I would probably go to town. The other thing that we used to do in New York, which I'm not sure why, is eventually either at the end of the night, or I guess it was the end of the night, sometimes we did it twice. The end of the night, we would see how much stuff you had left. It got too much. You were blowing off fireworks all day. And now, like I said, it's 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and you still had a bunch of fireworks left. And basically what the people would do is they would dump all the fireworks in the middle of the street, basically almost like a mountain. And they would throw gasoline on this pile of fireworks, and they would throw them at, boom, and they would light, a mountain of fireworks off in the middle of the street on fire, burning. And that's what we used to do, a whole thing of fire. Or the other thing would be a mat, whatever it is, a 20,000 shot mat, and they usually take 2 or 3 of those mats, and they would run them either on top of each. Sometimes they would run them one, then one, in a long way. But sometimes they would take 2 or 3 mats and put the mats on top of each other, and they douse that with gasoline, and they would throw a match, and that would go. So, and I don't know if I have a video of that. I did have a video of something like that back in the day. I don't know if it's uploaded to YouTube, but it was just stuff like that. So 4th of July was fun. As I'm older, I'm careful. I wouldn't be anywhere around it. I would never hold anything in my hand like I did when I was a kid. I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, I was a kid, so I wasn't thinking, but as I think now, I wouldn't even hold a Roman candle in my hand. I don't think. None of that. I just wouldn't. But that is it. But I love 4th of July. I love the fireworks. And I don't know. All right. With that being said, I hope that you enjoyed my little 4th of July memory stories, whatever you want to call it. I enjoy talking about it. If you have any 4th of July memories from wherever you're from, share them in the comments. I love to read your comments. And I guess so. With that being said, I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's staying safe. God bless you guys, and I will talk to you guys later.